Hello, I am Bethany Warnches, real estate agent with Addison Jones, and you are watching Tuesday Talks with Bethany, where I answer real estate FAQs. Today, I am going to be focusing on buyers and choosing a lender. So, how do you go about choosing a lender? So, buyers, if you want to get out a pen and a notepad and take some notes, feel free because this is going to be a lot of good information for you. So first of all, I want to talk about local reputable lender versus random internet lender. So why use a local reputable lender? Well, when you submit an offer as a buyer and the listing agent and the seller sit down to look at offers and review them, and maybe they have 3 offers on the table, 2 from local reputable lenders and 1 from the random internet lender. Well, the listing agent can let the seller know, these lenders, I have used them in many deals. They have gone smoothly. I have closed many transactions with them, and normally, I know that they verify everything when they have a buyer come through. So I feel comfortable with these pre-approvals. This one I've never heard of. I Googled it. Looks like they're out of California. I don't know anything about them. I don't know if they verify the information. So if you want to choose that one, that's fine. But I feel better about these. And so then a seller can decide, do I want to take a gamble on that random internet lender or do I not? So that's how it can help you there. And also, I do have a list of local reputable lenders if you want them. The thing is, they got on my list because I have done transactions with them and they have been good communicators and they have handled the transaction well, whether it was an easy one or had some bumps in the road, we got through it. And so that's how they end up on my list. A lot of buyers start with their local bank where they do their banking, and that's a good place to start. But you can check out some other lenders as well and do some lender shopping if you would like. So again, I have a list if you want one, but I definitely suggest local reputable over random internet. So when you do meet with these lenders, what are the questions you should be asking? So here we go with your pen and your paper and taking some notes here. So you'll want to know, what loan programs can you offer me? So there are some standard ones that are offered by most lenders, but there's also different niche programs that different lenders may offer. So have them tell you what they offer you and what would be the best fit for you. You'll also want to ask them, how much do I qualify for? And different lenders may qualify you for different amounts. So that's a good thing to ask. And then, what will my monthly payment be at the top of my budget with my insurance and taxes as well? So this way you will get an idea of, at the top, what is it, and then figure out, am I comfortable with that, or do I maybe want to spend less? You'll also want to ask, what interest rate can you offer me? Whether it's a 10-year, 20-year, 30-year loan, it's 3% here and it's 3.3% here. So asking the different lenders what interest rate they can offer you. You'll also want to ask, what is the minimum amount I can put down, or the minimum percentage I can put down? So is it 3.5%? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? What do I need to put down? You will also want to ask, how much will PMI be monthly? So private mortgage insurance is something that you have normally when you put less than 20% down. So now you've got your principal, your interest, your insurance, your taxes, and your PMI. So the PMI is another, monthly cost that you're going to have to pay. So is it $33 here and $50 here, or just figuring out how much is my monthly PMI payment going to be? Another good question to ask your lender is, how much money do I need to bring to the closing table on top of my down payment? So say you are putting 5% down on a $200,000 house, and so you've calculated what that 5% is. Now, what else is going to have to come to closing? What other money on top of that? So ask the lender to break down those costs for you and explain them to you, so you know, besides your 5%, what else you are going to need and have at the time of closing. You also will want to ask, am I required to ask the seller for a closing cost credit, or can I make that decision myself? So sometimes a buyer may not be able to purchase a home without asking for it, and the lender will put right in the pre-approval letter $4,000 of seller credit required. But if you have that option, especially in this market where you can choose if you want to ask or you don't need to ask at all, that's great, because this market is a seller's market. It's competitive. It's harder to get a seller to say yes to doing those. And so when you have that option, it makes sense not to ask, to be more competitive if you are trying to win the home. You also will want to ask the lender, how many days do you need to close a deal? So this will help you better prepare when you are writing an offer. Do you need 35 days? Do you need 45 days? Do you need 60 days? And this largely can depend on how far backed up appraisals are, but it's a good question to ask up front so you know what to expect and can write your offer accordingly. And then with the lender, you'll want to ask, what is the best way to communicate with you? Should I be emailing you? Should I be calling you? So the best way to communicate. And to follow up with that, ask, am I able to contact you outside of normal business hours if I have an urgent question? So say you as a buyer go look at a house on Saturday morning, you decide you want to write an offer Saturday afternoon, and you know that the bank's not open to go run in and chat with the lender or call. So, do they give you their cell phone number that you can text or call them if you do have an urgent question? So I hope all these questions were helpful to you and that you took some notes. And then as you go and meet with different lenders, you will take these questions with you and ask them. And then you can make a decision who the best lender for you will be. So next week, I am going to again cover some more buyer items. So I have a first-time home buyer guide. It's a freebie to meet with first-time home buyers. And so I'm going to explain a little bit more about my process with first-time home buyers and how I go about that. So feel free to join me next week, and thank you for joining me today.